Hi, my name is Daniela. I'm the founder of Project Lira, and I will tell you how Project Lira is changing the life of emerging musicians in Mexico and soon in the rest of the world. Everything started in my closest circle. I come from a big group of people who love music, people who used to have big dreams and thought that the way to achieve them was through hard work. That is me. They practiced for hours to master their instruments. They wrote songs night and day, but they were still unknown to their public, and this caused frustration and quitting. They were right, hard work is important, but they weren't doing the right work. With further investigation, I discovered this problem wasn't local. 91% of the artists are completely unknown, even though we are in the most technological, global, and connected era in history. Since my second big passion in life is marketing, I realized I could do something to help my friends succeed and reach their goals. This is how Project Lira was born. I already had my customer segment since they were my inspiration. Young people from 15 to 25 years old who lived in the urban zone, social grade B-, B+, and A, who have a band and big dreams. Identifying this took me absolutely no money. My first hypothesis was that they didn't have enough promotion and live performances, so my first value proposition was BTL activities and booking for emerging bands to play in music halls. So the first thing that I did was to get out of the building and talk to 4 owners of the booking agencies specialized in emerging bands, who by the way had more experience and context than I did. And then I realized that a lack of exposure was not the problem. It was time to pivot my first value proposition. The real problem was that most of the bands that played weren't really ready for playing because they hadn't built yet a different and unique proposal for their audience. Learning this cost me $4 and 2 weeks. Instead of being my rivals, these booking agencies' owners became my partners. They would send me the bands that needed to become real products before going on stages. Next thing I did, I got out of the building once again. This time, I decided to spend a couple days with some of them doing shadowing to identify what the origin of the problem was. I identified their main pain points were: they didn't know how to be disclosed. They didn't know how to identify their target audience. They thought it was hard to compete with existing artists. They thought the industry put too many obstacles in their career. And also, they lost audience every time they launched a new song. The identification of these problems helped me develop a value proposition more suitable for them. Empower emerging bands to become real and unique brands, and get them from the garage to the market. Learning this cost me $2 and 1 week. To validate this new value proposition and service portfolio, I applied a poll to 20 band representatives, who got me to the next results. 56% of the interviewees used YouTube to be disclosed, and 45% used SoundCloud, which I didn't consider at first. 45% of the interviewees already had a press kit. Instagram and blog publicity played an important role for event promotion besides Facebook. 75% never have had a press junket. 70% prefer to manage their own social media. The poll took me $0 and 1 more week. From these results, I concluded that the service portfolio should encompass much more than only social media marketing. It should go deeper than that, so I decided to include as a core service a brand plan, so the brands could identify their brand essence, their brand personality, and attributes, just as any other massive consumption brand would do. But how to address and deliver this result to the client without making them feel like a shelf product? For enriching this part of the canvas, I designed a brainstorming session, where people from different contexts participated: an engineer, a programmer, a producer, entrepreneurs, a filmmaker, a musician, a dancer, and even a pilot. The questions made in the brainstorming session came from falsifiable hypotheses. The results were classified as pain relievers and gains. The best gains were implemented as part of the model and service portfolio, and the most relevant gains were these. Artists should have an original and authentic speech, and be spokesmen of movements and social happenings. Project Lira should help artists also with personal branding. Addressing two artists as spokesmen is much more friendly for them than talking to them as if they were shelf products. The brainstorming also brought gains referring to channels. Delivery channels shouldn't be only massive, but they should be chosen smartly and strategically targeted. Do digital publicity in other countries too. The brainstorming session took $3 and 2 more weeks. Using this new way, I got to execute my first 2 MVPs, which were like free trials of the services. Approaching to these clients, I realized that it wouldn't be easy for them to pay for the service if I were charging for it. So they helped me to develop a 3 exhibition payments model. Much better for those musicians who don't have yet an economic stability. The MVP's development and revenue streams ideation took $3 and 3 weeks. Summing up, we already have 4 key partners, 2 shadowings, 20 polls, 10 people brainstorming, 2 MVPs executed, and we spent in total $12 and 7 weeks. Yet, we still have to identify our cost structure, our key resources, and verify the effectiveness of the revenue streams. But we are working hard to achieve a model that can actually help and revolutionize the music industry for emerging musicians. Thank you.